How y'all doing today? My name's Ayin, and today's topic of discussion is going to be forsaking your inner circle. Forsaking your inner circle. Now, when I'm thinking about this topic, I'm thinking about you having a circle, and within that circle are things that are important to you in regards to people. There's obligations that have to be met. The reason why those obligations have to be met is because you put yourself up to be obligated for these things. These are what you deemed most important to you. You consider them to be right outside of you. So they're the first thing you come into contact right after you think about yourself. So with that being said, you have another circle on the outside. This extends past your home or that inner circle. This would include close friends, family, what have you, and then so forth and so forth. When I'm talking about forsaking the inner circle, one thing I want to make clear, I'm not talking about not ever thinking about anybody or anything outside of that circle, not ever extending a helping hand, just letting everything go, and it's just about this, and that's it. I want you to think about it in this way. And we've talked about this on this channel before. You know what you need in order for you to be a healthy you, right? Now, most times people forsake that and they start thinking about the others around them. And this is how you get into unhealthy situations, unhealthy relationships, because you're putting those people first before you're thinking about yourself. You don't even know what you need. You're catering to the people and the things around you, and you're overextending yourself more than you should. And those boundaries get blurred between you and the people that you're choosing to help, right? So you have to take it to self first. And when Ayin is filled up and he's 100% ready to be at his best of dealing with everybody, and when I'm saying 100%, this is not perfection. This is not me sitting in a shell and not dealing with anybody for weeks and months and years on end. That's not what this is. We're just talking about where I feel that I can deal with people in a healthy manner and give them the best me, the upbeat Ayin, the encouraging. And things take a toll on you. Sometimes it beats you down, and you gotta. That's the reason why home is a place of refuge. You gotta go home. You gotta rejuvenate. So I wanted to make it clear on what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about forsaking the inner circle, I'm going to provide some examples with that as well. I'm talking about where you're consistently reaching over the things and the people and the obligations in that inner circle that we talked about earlier in the video. You're consistently reaching over them and those to be engaged in things that you shouldn't be engaged in. We'll give an example. Here it is, child having behavior problems at school. They have things going on. We're just going to say things. They need you up off in your circle. But yet, you're worried about your friend's kids or your friend's situation in their relationship. You show a little bit of attention here up to whatever's going on, and the child's like, but you're not in it to win it, like how you are doing with other people's situations, where a person may talk to you about some foolishness for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. Give you an example. We'll flesh that out. Give you an example. They may be talking about some unhealthy relationship that they've had for eons. And you all have consistently had this conversation, and at this point, it's becoming unhealthy, and they're a time waster. You're giving time to these ordeals, and you got something right there in your circle that needs you now, and it impacts their future. That's what I'm talking about forsaking the inner circle. I'm talking about that mate that you have, that you committed to have that obligation with, to share that relationship with you, and they need to be fed as well. Just like how friendships and other relationships on the outside of that circle, they have to be met with the give and take, with you putting in, you take out. One day I'm leaning on you, one day you're leaning on me. Same thing with the relationship. You have a relationship, they have things that they're expecting from you. You have obligations to them, just like they have obligations to you. I'm talking about reaching over them and providing obligations to things on the outside of the circle to where you're forsaking what's going on in here. And it's real easy to do. It's real easy to miss. One of the ways, I'm going to stay here on the relationship point for a minute. One way that this is easy to do is you meet somebody new, you're all engaged because they're on the outside of their circle. So it's all new. You're excited about it. You start going down that path. And eventually you get accustomed to them. And you bring them in on the inside of their circle. They're no longer new anymore. Or you feel like they're no longer new anymore. So it's almost like you put it down. Not put it down in the sense of being destructive with your speech, but you put it down, you don't show it the attention that you did when you first got it. Now, the way that you handled things before, whether you were a person that was just really always tied up in other people's business, just things that you shouldn't be, dealing with foolishness, now you're right back to those things. Now, since you're engaging back in those things, just like how you did when you were single, now you got someone on the inside of this circle going without. You're forsaking your inner circle. And this leads to problems for you and people and everything in your inner circle. This is how you have a breakdown of communication. This is how you have conflict. These things arise from that. And the reason why I'm doing this video is to call your attention to it, because not a lot of the times we realize what we're doing. Going back to that example of having that relationship is new. Now you're old. We've been together 2-3 years. Okay, I'm bored. I know I got you on lock. So I'm going to go back doing what I'm doing. I know I temporarily placed my friends on hold, to get to know you. Now I'm right back out here doing the same thing. You'll be there because we got this commitment up to one another. You'll be there. See, if you're not aware of where you stand in other people's lives, what's healthy and not healthy to you, that's the reason why we discuss these things so much on this channel. You can fail to miss out, or you can easily miss out on these connections, these pitfalls that you're blind to. And you can self-sabotage as well. That's the reason why I've done so many videos when I'm talking about healthy people, staying in your own lane, what's important to you. Do you realize, how to, encourage in a loving way? Do you know what encouragement looks like? Do you know what discouragement looks like? So you can see like these red flags on these situations that you should pick up and put down, and know when to take something, know when to, walk away. We try to talk about all these ins and outs to things. So this is all about you and your inner circle. Maybe you let something off in your inner circle that shouldn't have been in your inner circle to begin with. So now we need to, assess that, especially if you're trying to be in a healthy place up off in your life. Because you want to, if you start with you and knowing what you need and what you want to provide, then you start placing things off in there. That's why it always starts and it ends with you. I've said this in another video. You wake up in the morning, it's you. You go out, you deal with people. Whether you get up out of the bed and you're dealing with the people in the home, it starts with you. Then it goes to them. And then it's the reverse. When you're coming back in and you're coming in from the world and you're letting your family members go to their respective rooms and you're closing your eyes for the night. It ends with you. How do you want to start and end your day? Don't forsake your inner circle. That's the point of this video. Pay attention to the nourishment that it needs. You have obligations. If you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on my other social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. Check out the book that I've written, Kilimanjaro's The Arithmetic of Family Communication. I'll leave a link in the description box. In the meantime, if you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button, okay? Just got to say it again. Plus, I forgot that I already said it, if I said it. In the meantime, stay encouraged. Avoid being discouraged. I'm Ayin. You have a good one.